The 5 most brilliant zodiac signs have been revealed. Their IQ is over 200. There are zodiac signs whose intelligence goes far beyond the ordinary. Their minds seem to be connected to a higher source of knowledge. They see the essence of phenomena, calculate events in advance, and think in ways that others have never even dreamed of. Today, as a predictor of the future, I reveal the 5 most brilliant signs of the zodiac, those whose intelligence is comparable to level 200 and above. This is not just intelligence. It is an internal system where logic, intuition, and subtle esoteric codes work in unison. You will find out who is able to read between the lines, who is endowed with the mind of a prophet and strategist from birth, and why these signs are called the brains of the universe. Perhaps you yourself are on this list, or live near those who carry the power of the cosmic mind. Subscribe to the channel if the topic of esoteric wisdom is close to you and you want to know more than just the characteristics of the signs. Write in the comments which sign, in your opinion, should be on this list. We will check your internal compass with secret knowledge. And now, I reveal the names of those whose genius has long gone beyond the usual horoscope. The first sign is Gemini. Gemini's intelligence is not an accident or a gift from above. It is the result of an internal obsession with knowledge, analysis of the world, and instant connection to information. They are not just smart, their mind is structured as a network of neurons that work faster than the computing units of a supercomputer. Geminis are ahead of others not by a step, but by dozens of thought operations. They do not need preparation. They are ready for a conversation, for an argument, for research already at the moment when someone else is just formulating a question. Geminis have a unique form of genius. Multitasking is built into their nature. While one person concentrates on one idea, Geminis hold 6 in their head. They can simultaneously read, think, write, and analyze the reaction of the interlocutor. Their IQ is not just a number. It is an architecture of thinking that defies conventional classification. Their intelligence is not linear, but fractal. It branches out, deepens, turns around, and never repeats itself. They don't need to memorize, they read it the first time. Geminis absorb information the same way their lungs inhale air. They don't build theories, they make them up. They don't need to rely on other people's knowledge. They have an intuitive navigator of logic, structures, and contexts. They can instantly recognize the essence of any problem, see the weak link in a complex scheme, and most importantly, find unconventional ways that others would not even think of. They may seem carefree, but it is in their ease that the meaning is hidden. The genius of Gemini is the free flight of thought, in which there is no fear of complexity. They are not afraid of intellectual challenges. They seek them. Their minds are trained to challenge axioms and look into the essence of phenomena, without relying on generally accepted opinions. They are able to argue with several opponents at the same time, arguing each answer on different levels, logical, philosophical, and emotional. Geminis do not think in terms of right and wrong. For them, there are many versions of the truth, and they can exist in each of them simultaneously. This creates the feeling that they're everywhere and nowhere, but at the same time, they know exactly where the truth is. Their ability to instantly adapt makes their intellect flexible and fast. They can master a new field of knowledge in a couple of days and look like experts in it, simply because they can build hypotheses, read patterns, and analyze the essence without delving into excessive details. In the company of Geminis, it is impossible not to feel intellectual tension. They create a field in which everyone around them begins to think faster, speak brighter, and look for a way out of the ordinary. Their mind is a constant storm of ideas. They do not withdraw into themselves. On the contrary, their genius becomes fuel for others. They ignite interest, provoke curiosity, break boredom, and bring energy to any intellectual environment. The IQ level of Geminis is often off the scale. They don't fit into tests, they go beyond. Their thinking is not just developed, it works in another dimension. They think faster, deeper, and more accurately. Their intellect is a tool, but also a weapon. It protects them, leads them forward, gives them power over circumstances. Geminis are geniuses whose strength is not in the formula, but in the ability to create these formulas anew, when others are still looking for a pen. The second sign is Cancer. The intelligence of Cancer representatives is not subject to traditional measurement. Their mind is not only the ability to remember or analyze, but a unique format of thinking, where logic is combined with deep empathy. They instantly grasp the essence, because their perception does not go along the tops of information, but penetrates to the root of any question. Cancers think in layers: the external level, subtext, consequences, psychology of the participants. This is what gives them an advantage that looks like intuition, but in fact is a powerful cognitive apparatus. Cancers are prone to systemic thinking, but are not fixated on structures. Their brain works on the principle, from the general to the particular, with subsequent analysis of nuances. They can calculate the most complex emotional reaction of others faster than anyone can figure out what happened at all. This is where the genius of Cancer lies, in the ability to instantly build a logically accurate model based on the subtlest mental signals. Their IQ can be assessed not by tests, but by the speed of adaptation, the volume of perception, and the ability to predict the development of events. Cancers do not just know how it will be, they will explain why exactly this way, and they will do it calmly, confidently, with details that do not even occur to others. Their mind works flawlessly in conditions of uncertainty. While others are panicking, Cancers are already building an exit plan and choosing a backup option. In addition, representatives of this sign have an exceptional memory, not factual, but associative. They can remember the emotions, intonations, facial expressions that accompanied certain events, and use this in analytics. Their thinking is multi-layered, not linear. They build parallel strategies, see risks and potential, and can think like strategists and psychologists at the same time. This rare combination makes them unsurpassed in conflict resolution, negotiations, and emotionally tense situations. If we talk about genius, then Cancer's genius is manifested in the ability to synthesize disparate elements into a complete, deeply thought-out picture. They do not demonstrate their intelligence, they act. And it is precisely as a result that it becomes clear how powerfully they think. Their genius is precision hidden behind silence. The third sign is Taurus. Taurus's intelligence is based on incredible concentration and the ability to conduct deep, slow, but absolutely accurate analysis. Unlike those who act impulsively, representatives of this sign are in no hurry. And this is their powerful advantage. They see weak points where others run past. Their thinking is heavy, like armor, but at the same time flexible and strategic. Taurus is able to process large amounts of information without losing focus. He is consistent, stubborn in the best sense, and always brings his thoughts to the result. His IQ is not a number, but a tool with which he builds real, working schemes, business models, structures. He does not need chaos of ideas, he builds order out of chaos. This is where his intellectual superiority lies. Taurus logic is impeccable. He does not allow gaps, does not leave ambiguities, does not act without understanding. His decisions are verified like formulas. He knows how to compare, analyze, foresee, and remain calm under pressure. Where others lose control, Taurus is just beginning to turn on his analytical power. His mind is not loud, but deep. He does not waste words. He builds an evidence system that has no weak points. In addition, Taurus has a rare ability to concentrate on material and technical details. Their genius is manifested in the ability to create stable mechanisms that work for years. They see not only current tasks, but also future consequences. This makes them indispensable in strategic planning, economics, architecture, industry, investments. They do not rush the process. They build every detail into a structure that will withstand any load. The genius of Taurus is a mathematically precise, logically grounded approach to reality. They do not create illusions, they create results. And it is precisely behind this calm and reliability that a mind more powerful than most is hidden. They do not need to prove their IQ. It becomes obvious when everything they have created begins to work without failures. The fourth sign is Aries. Aries' genius begins with a paradox. His mind seems simple. He thinks directly, decisively and quickly. But this apparent straightforwardness hides the ability to make lightning-fast decisions based on complex and deep analytics that occur in a split second. Aries does not waste time on endless reflections. He analyzes instantly, and this analysis is as precise as a scalpel. His IQ level is often in a zone that the usual measurement system cannot adequately reflect. Aries thinks like a strategist. His thinking is structured, like a battle formation. He quickly sees the goal, determines the path and instantly eliminates unnecessary details. Unlike signs prone to theorizing, Aries perceives knowledge as a combat resource. He does not accumulate information for the sake of the process, he instantly applies it. His mind is focused on the result, and it is so sharp that any intellectual problems are solved almost intuitively, but always with accuracy. Aries are great at feeling the weak points in any system. Their analytics are a combination of speed, strength and the ability to foresee consequences. They think as if they had a built-in predictive mechanism. They draw conclusions based on minimal data, but these conclusions turn out to be brilliantly accurate. Their mind does not require justification. It proves its rightness with results. Their logic is not academic. It is practical, sharp and uncompromising. They think in action mode. In situations where others need time to prepare, Aries is already acting, because his brain has long calculated everything. This speed, multiplied by accuracy, makes his intellect exceptional. Aries does not need confirmation of his genius, he lives in it. His decisions lead to results, and his mind is constantly in combat readiness. Aries' genius manifests itself especially brightly in stressful and critical situations. At the moment when others freeze, he activates. His mind mobilizes and acts like a precision calculation machine. Aries are often ahead of their time, anticipating trends, ideas, and turns of events before those around them realize what is happening. This makes them not just smart, but dangerously smart. Their intellect is an instrument of power, because it can change the course of events. Aries are not afraid to take intellectual risks. They enter new areas, new tasks, new ideas with audacity that seems reckless, but is actually based on quick analysis and foresight. Their genius is that they can simplify the complex without losing the essence. They see the essence through chaos. They do not need explanations. They feel the intellectual pulse of the task and tune into it so accurately that the solution comes without unnecessary effort. Aries' IQ level is capable of astounding even scientists. It is unconventional, unstable, but this is its strength. Its mind does not work according to a template, it destroys templates. He may seem impulsive, but behind this impulsiveness there is instant comprehension, a logical chain and an internal strategy. Aries are geniuses of speed. Their thinking is lightning fast, elusive and at the same time effective. They do not advertise their genius. They do not need it. They just live, make decisions, move forward, and only after a while it becomes clear, there was a person nearby whose intellectual power exceeds the usual scale. Aries are not just smart. They have a way of thinking that is ahead of events, breaks down barriers and moves ideas into reality. Their mind is energy aimed at victory, and their victory is always intellectual. The fifth sign is Libra. The genius of Libra is in the ability to think from two sides at the same time. Their intellect is not unipolar. It always maintains a balance between logic and flexibility. This is not superficial maneuvering, but the ability to penetrate to the essence and see all sides of the issue. Their IQ is a subtle analytical filter that filters out the unnecessary and leaves only the essence. Libra thinks precisely, quickly, strategically. They can build cause and effect chains with impeccable clarity. The mental apparatus of Libra is unique in that they are able to work with abstractions as easily as with specifics. They are equally strong in law, art, philosophy, economics. Their versatility does not interfere with depth. On the contrary, they know how to combine the incompatible. Where others see contradictions, Libra finds a compromise that surprises with its accuracy. In addition, representatives of this sign have an innate sense of structure and harmony. This is reflected in their thinking. Their speech is logical, reasoned, and calculating. They do not succumb to emotions in analysis, although they understand the feelings of others perfectly. Their ability to think objectively allows them to be excellent lawyers, analysts, teachers, and consultants. Libras are able to extract clear rules from chaos and formulate them clearly. Libra's intellect works ahead of the curve. They easily detect weak points in arguments, find logical errors, and know how to turn a conversation into a constructive one. Their genius is the ability to say the right words at the right moment, based not on manipulation, but on precise logic. At the same time, they know how to keep their face without losing their dignity and confidence. In situations of uncertainty, it is Libra who is the first to form an intellectual position, which others then adhere to. Their opinion weighs a lot because it is reasoned. They know how to quickly and accurately analyze texts, behavior, data, and diagrams. Their mind is like a scale in which everything is weighed to the gram. And it is precisely behind this external softness that there lies an analyst with an IQ that exceeds the usual limits of assessment.